Admiral Kethavar of the Zephyrian Empire adjusted his crystalline exoskeleton as he gazed through the viewport of his flagship, the Stellar Dominion. Before him stretched the most magnificent fleet ever assembled, 300 vessels of pure energy and quantum-forged metal, each one a masterpiece of 10,000-year-old engineering. The ships hummed with power cores that could ignite stars, their hulls shimmering with shields that had never been breached. "Primitive," he hissed through his translator, watching the lone human vessel drift toward them. The Earthship looked like something cobbled together from scrap metal and wishful thinking. Its hull bore the scars of countless repairs, rivets, and welding marks visible even from this distance. Crude chemical thrusters sputtered inefficiently at its rear, and its weapons appeared to be nothing more than kinetic projectiles, the kind of technology his ancestors had abandoned millennia ago. "Sir," his tactical officer reported, mandibles clicking with amusement. "The human vessel is broadcasting a message." "Put it through," Kethavar commanded, eager to hear what pathetic plea these mammals might offer. The voice that crackled through their communication array was surprisingly calm. "This is Captain Sarah Chen of the UES Indomitable. You have entered Sol system space and threatened civilian populations. Withdraw immediately or face the consequences." The bridge erupted in chittering laughter. One human, in one ship that looked like it might fall apart if someone sneezed on it, was threatening the most powerful armada in known space. "Human," Kethavar replied, his voice dripping with condescension. "You clearly do not understand the situation. We are the Zephyrian Empire. We have conquered 1,000 worlds with technology your species cannot even comprehend. That pathetic vessel of yours wouldn't survive a single shot from our least powerful escort. Is that your final answer?" Came the human's response. Kethavar's compound eyes gleamed. "Weapons officer, demonstrate our superiority. Target their primitive ship with a low-power pulse. Let them witness true technology before we—" The transmission cut to static. For a moment, confusion rippled through the bridge. Then the sensor officer's voice rang out in panic. "Sir, the human ship, it's gone." "Gone?" Kethavar spun toward the displays. Where the crude vessel had been floating moments before, space was empty. "Scanning all frequencies," the sensor officer reported, his voice climbing higher. "No debris, no energy, signature no wait." He paused, mandibles quivering. "Sir, I'm reading a massive gravitational anomaly directly ahead of our formation." Kethavar felt his exoskeleton grow cold. "Impossible. There's nothing there but empty space." "Sir," the communications officer interrupted, "we're receiving another transmission. Same human vessel, but the signal is coming from behind us." The tactical display updated, and Kethavar's worst fears were confirmed. The human ship had somehow appeared in the center of his formation, surrounded by his most powerful dreadnoughts. Captain Chen's voice filled the bridge again, still maddeningly calm. "Admiral, you seem surprised. Did your intelligence really not mention our latest breakthrough?" What are you?" Kethavar whispered. "Just humans, Admiral. But we've learned some interesting things about space-time recently. You see, while you've been perfecting your energy weapons and quantum shields, we've been working on something different. Something our scientists call the Alcubierre-Chen drive." The human ship began to move, not through space, but with space itself. Reality seemed to bend around the crude vessel as it slipped between dimensions that the Zephyrians didn't even know existed. "The funny thing about focusing so much on weapons," Chen continued, "is that you forget about mobility, about being where your enemy doesn't expect you, about turning their own formation against them." The Indomitable vanished again, reappearing at the edge of the Zephyrian formation. As it moved, something impossible happened. The space around it began to collapse inward, creating a gravity well that pulled the nearest dreadnoughts off course. "No!" Kethavar screamed. "All ships fire at will. Destroy that abomination." 300 ships opened fire simultaneously, their advanced weaponry creating a light show that could be seen from Earth's moon. Energy beams and quantum torpedoes converged on the human vessel's last known position. They hit nothing but empty space. The Indomitable materialized behind the flagship, so close that Kethvar could see the individual hull plates through his viewport. But instead of firing weapons, the human ship did something far more terrifying. It began to spin. As it rotated, the Alcubierre field around it created a gravitational vortex that caught the Zephyrian vessels like leaves in a hurricane. Ships designed to withstand the fury of supernovas found themselves helplessly tumbling through space, their sophisticated, inertial dampeners overwhelmed by forces they had never been designed to encounter. "Emergency jump," Kethvar ordered. "All ships, immediate withdrawal." But their jump drives couldn't lock onto stable space. The human vessel was somehow destabilizing the quantum foam around them, making faster-than-light travel impossible. One by one, the pride of the Zephyrian Empire was methodically disabled. Not destroyed, Kethvar realized with growing horror, but carefully, precisely neutralized. The humans weren't trying to kill them. They were being collected. "This is Captain Chen," the voice came again. "Admiral Kethvar, your fleet is now contained within our gravity field. Your weapons are offline, your drives are disabled, and your ships are undamaged. You have a choice. Withdraw from Sol system permanently, or I'll show you what happens when we stop being gentle." Kethvar looked around his bridge at the faces of his crew, beings from a dozen conquered worlds, all staring at their instruments in disbelief. The most advanced military force in the galaxy had been neutralized by a single ship that looked like it was held together with determination and spite. "How?" he whispered. "Admiral," Chen replied, and Kethvar could hear the smile in her voice. "We humans have a saying, it's not the size of the dog in the fight, it's the size of the fight in the dog. You brought bigger guns. We brought physics you haven't discovered yet." The gravity field released them as suddenly as it had appeared. The Indomitable sat motionless among the disabled Zephyrian vessels, its crude hull scarred but unbroken. "You have 1 hour to restore minimum power and leave our system," Chen announced. "And Admiral, next time you see a human ship, remember this moment. We might look primitive, but we've been fighting each other for 10,000 years. We know a thing or two about winning, against impossible odds." As the Zephyrian fleet limped away from Sol system, their drives barely functional, Admiral Kethvar sent an urgent message to High Command. "Classification change required. Humans are not to be considered primitive. Recommend immediate diplomatic, contact and technology exchange protocols." He paused, watching the small blue world that had just redefined the balance of power in the galaxy. "Also recommend we never, ever, laugh at their ships again."